Hello, wonderful friends. How are you? So I've finally got the cold that's been going around, and now I have congestion and sinus issues. But it's not too bad, actually. So I'm doing pretty good so far. I just have to maintain my regiment, and I will be really good in a few days, I'm sure of it. So I wanted to share with you what I do, natural remedies that help me get through these colds and also help to kind of prevent them. It took me much longer to get sick than most people. And I think that actually the reason why I got sick was I went out on Friday night for a friend's birthday, had a lot of fun, got really drunk, and I think that suppressed my immune system just enough that it made me vulnerable to getting the cold that's been going around. Plus, I kind of also thought it was allergies, but it doesn't matter the reason why because it's here now, and that's what I want to talk about and help maybe other people with natural remedies for head colds, for sinus issues, basically. I'm like a pro at sinus issues. That's how I almost always get sick is sinus issues. And I've had my sinus colds turn into full on sick, like bad. Like I was so sick one time because I didn't have this regimen in place yet. I was super stressed out. Oh, it was just so bad. So the first thing is do as best as you can to not be stressed out. That's the first thing. Stress suppresses your immune system and your body just can't heal or repair while that's going on. If you think about your body's fight or flight response, when the body is in a stress mode, that's fight or flight, your body doesn't go into a relaxation state, which means that the body can't go through its full-on repair mode. Kind of like when you're charging a battery with a lot of things, you kind of turn them off or leave them alone while you're doing that. Kind of think about your body like that, maybe, while you're sick. So that's what I try to do and keep it real low key, real chill. I don't tend to go out and push myself very much. I used to do that in the past, but to be honest, it never works out well. I always get worse or prolong the illness. And I've had a relapse before where I was sick and it was 10 times worse the second time. So I definitely don't recommend that. So let me start with what's the first things. I guess the first remedy is neti pot. I use these little pre-dosed packets, Neomed Sinus Relief or Sinus Rinse, and it comes out in a bag like this, which is super handy. And single dose, you just put in your distilled water, warm up the water in the microwave. Actually, my microwave is a fairly new one. It's not very good, but it's a fairly new one. And about 25 seconds is what I need to get this to a nice warm temperature. Don't put cold water in your nose. It'll hurt. If your sinuses are already super irritated, it's going to hurt. So warm water, put your salt in. I use a plastic chopstick and I stir it around and, clean out your nose, irrigate your nose. That'll help get out any sort of congestion and build up stuff. Also cleanse out any pollen or any irritants. So that's good. I love that. That's an easy one. I think a lot of people know about that. The second thing I do that's a device or a thing that I use is this Vicks steam face inhaler thing. And I'm having to get my camera left, right. So the inside, there's these little prongs and you put a little foam pad. We actually ran out of the circle ones. Vicks for some reason doesn't make them, which is super weird. But do not put essential oils in the base of it. It's actually ceramic and it will crack it. And I read a ton of reviews of people saying that essential oils that you would use while you're sick, like eucalyptus oil or anything of that sort, magnify the heat and like first use, you could break this doing that. So make sure and use the little foam pads. I have like a little, we got the wrong kind the first time and I just put it on there. The only other suggestion I could say would be maybe like little face rounds, those little cotton rounds. Those might work if you kind of cut a hole in the middle and then put it around this. but I'm just gonna get more of these little circle pads and reuse them. I don't switch them out every time because I'm not always sick. It's always sometimes just soothing my nose. So I don't throw those out because they're kind of pricey, but they're super handy. So I use this. I will say a word of warning: do not spill this water on you. It will burn you. I've gotten almost a 3rd-degree burn from this because I wasn't paying attention. So be careful with it. It's really great. It's good for every sinus issue you've ever had. And when I looked up face steamers, that actually is the best one for the price. I looked up what are they called? The ones that it's like micro molecules of water and stuff like that. And you put like the mask on and all of that. But those were super expensive, and people were like, this isn't helping my congestion at all. So I was like, this does. I like it. It's only $17 or something like that on Amazon. So I highly recommend that. Children, I don't know, be careful. Put a blanket, a towel, a really thick towel over you so that if you do spill it, your chest area is probably your most sensitive skin area, so be very careful. With that, I use these 2 oils. Let's see, there we go, where is it? Eucalyptus, and this one, this is eucalyptus, so that's easy. Everybody knows that. This one is called Olbas. This is the best stuff ever. They also make these little sticks, like little, nose sticks that you could carry with you. I have these everywhere because I'm a sinus issue person, so I always have these. It's very therapeutic. It feels really nice, soothes your nose, your nasal passages. But this is the oil that you can put on the little pad for the inhaler. So this is really good stuff. Again, Amazon is where I get this stuff. Okay, so that's all the stuff I do to my nose, like in the sense of physical aid and assistance. Then I implement all of my vitamins. Vitamins to me are very, very important when I'm sick or not feeling well. Just generally speaking, I'm very diligent about my vitamin use, in the sense that I make sure what I need and what I need to take on a regular basis. So vitamin C is absolutely important. It's the number one thing that's going to get you through illnesses is vitamin C. This is the brand I use. It's really good. It's called Garden of Life. It's a whole food vitamin. You can take this on an empty stomach and it won't bother your stomach, or it shouldn't. It is, let's see, 300 milligrams of vitamin C per 2 capsules. So it's not a huge dosage, but the quality of vitamin C is very high. But I combine this with the most potent vitamin C you could possibly encounter, which is liposomal vitamin C. Super easy to make. There's videos all over YouTube for this. It's a liquid, and what you're seeing is it's water, purified water, and soy lecithin, non-GMO'd soy lecithin, and then you encapsulate the ascorbic acid, which is the pure form of vitamin C, with the soy lecithin, which helps it to make it into your digestive tract so that it can really offer you the most benefit. I definitely know that when I take this, a shot of it, like a little shot glass, twice a day, maybe sometimes 3 times a day if I'm sick, I feel really good afterwards. Word of warning, it can irritate your stomach and make you feel kind of nauseous if your stomach's feeling a little off. I haven't really had that much problem with it, but the other day it did that to me. So just be wary of that. This has to stay in the fridge to keep it fresh, because the ingredients, soy lecithin, once it's put into liquid form, it'll start to break down and degrade if you don't put it back in the fridge. But it lasts a long time in the fridge, so it's a really nice product. I love that. And you can make this yourself. It's very economical. This is supposed to be the next best thing. This is supposed to be actually the same as intravenous vitamin C, which is extremely high potency. And there's a lot of claims for this vitamin C form. I don't go into that. I'm just saying this is good if you're sick. So I highly recommend that. The next thing I do, and I'm doing right now, tea. This is actually really good. Yogi Tea Breathe Deep. They make really good herbal teas for different ailments. I use their women's moon cycle teas, really like those, so I decided to try this one. It's really good. It has an interesting flavor. It has licorice in it, which is kind of an interesting sweetness to it. Eucalyptus, thyme, licorice root, tulsi, which is holy basil, ginger, cinnamon bark, campaign root, never heard of that, peppermint, cardamom, and mullein. All really good herbal remedy ingredients, nothing artificial. It's great. Drink this a couple times a day. It'll help the inflammation and the mucus expulsion and things of that sort. Plus, the moisture and the steam around your nose would be really helpful and soothing too. Let's see. The next thing that's good for boosting your immune system, vitamin D. We take it in 2 different forms. I don't always take the pill, but then there's also this. Let's see. I didn't realize the glare is gonna be so strong. It's a lotion, vitamin D. It's really nice. I like it. It smells kind of good. It smells like mentholic a little bit, just a little bit. But this is supposed to be one of the best ways to absorb vitamin D is through your skin, which is what the sun does. But in the winter, if you don't have sun or if you need an extra boost, if you're feeling sick, you probably need an extra boost of vitamin D. 1 squirt of this a day, and at most twice a day, and it'll help support your immune system. And a lot of research has come out to say that vitamin D is good for your immune system in the same way that vitamin C is. So I don't do it all the time, but I do it when I'm not feeling good in particular. Let's see here. So then those are all the immune supporters and boosters and all of that stuff, which is good because your immune system give it a little bit of help, right? So next is the kind of, I guess, somewhat the preventative, but also the, like I used to always take decongestants all the time. Really not good for you. Really not good for you. I was taking them back in the day when there was amphetamine in them. I would get so cracked out. It was stupid how cracky I would get. So I'm glad I don't do that anymore. I used to use a whole litany of pharmaceuticals that were just had counteractive effects. It was just not good for my body. So now instead I use natural and histamine support, cardiovascular support, and also a decongestant. This is marketed for all kinds of reasons. This is serapeptase. If you've never heard of it, check it out. Do your own research. We did a lot of research, and this is the brand we ended up with, Doctor's Best. You get this on Amazon, I think like 20-something bucks. It's a good high dosage of the active ingredient, which is the thing that you need in it. It's made from the cocoons of silkworms, and it breaks down old proteins that might be calcified in your body. So when you first take it, take a very low dose, which is, I took half a pill when I very first took this. I had taken a full one, and it was my lungs, and mainly my lungs had so much, I guess, kind of like hardened, whatever's in there, mucus or from smoking, I don't know. And so when I first took it, it felt like it was like sucking all the stuff out of my lungs. And all of a sudden I was like, what the hell? This is like actually kind of painful. But then when I lowered the dosage and then took it more often, like every day, once a day, I noticed that it wasn't as comfortable, but I noticed that it started repairing my body. It was very interesting. So I originally just took this for, I don't know why, I think it was congestion, but what I ended up finding was good for was I have some injuries from high school, like on my knees and stuff from horses, and some scar tissue. And actually I found it broke it down, and my knees actually have been much better. So women I found are taking this for PMS, really bad cramps, helps them. Again, it breaks down scar tissue, but it's great for your cardiovascular system. It helps to expel all of the excess mucus that's in your body. Usually when I take this, I get like within 30 to 45 minutes after I take it, I find myself at home coughing up phlegm, like getting all the phlegm out. So it's very good for that. my dosage now is 3 pills in the morning. So, and I think I'm taking about 2 at night. I may take 2 in the afternoon and then 2 at night, just to help keep this from thickening up, because that's what makes this worse, is when this gets worse. And then the antihistamine front, this is what I use. Love these. These are really good for you. They do good. They do good for your body, even if it's not just for being sick. So these have kind of a specific dosing, but to be honest, and I had read some stuff that said don't take more than this much, but as long as you don't take this more than once a day, quercetin you can probably take twice a day. Butterbur only take once a day. These are both really good together as an antihistamine, an allergy medication, but also cardiovascular support. So this is a cardiovascular support vitamin, and then this is actually advertised as neurological support. So actually this is good to have in your house, just to have around. It's good if you ever get certain kinds of headaches, but also if you ever get a fibromyalgia type of experience, I've used this and it's been very helpful. So if you're feeling bad or feeling allergies, you take this first. Then if it continues and you're not feeling better, take this. They recommend taking antihistamines at night before you go to bed, so that's probably the best time to take them. But when I'm sick, I take at least this in the morning to try to help to keep my basically everything from freaking out and making this all worse, because it's intense and I hate it. So yeah, that's the ingredients. That's my regimen I do. It may seem like a lot of pills, but if you think about what the ingredients are, these aren't wasted effort. You're not taking anything that is going to have a negative side effect that you have to take something else for. All of these things support each other. I don't take all these things all the time. I've worked out my own routine or schedule for this stuff. So I've figured out what I need to take and when I need to take it based upon my body and my reactions. And I think the number one thing that I will definitely recommend is the neti pot. It's the easiest thing to do. As long as you use distilled water and you heat it up, warm it up, and use the pre-mixed or pre-dosed salt packets, you can't do wrong. It's the best thing to clear out the nose, to get the sinuses rehydrated and lubricated, and get any sort of contaminants in your nose out, anything out that might be further exacerbating your nasal problems. I have talked about, like with my husband and stuff like that, about if smoking is okay or not. It's a strange kind of dose with that, because sometimes you feel so bad that you can't sleep, and that offers relaxation and helps to kind of chill you out. The interesting thing is sometimes smoking will decongest you in a very interesting way. I would just say actually decongest you, but it dries out your mucous membranes, which actually can be very helpful depending on what your congestion is. But at the same time, depending on how or the volume or the frequency that you've been smoking, and then when you do smoke again when you're sick, it may or may not help you. I have had times where I've been so sick and I didn't smoke for 3 or 4 days that I finally was just like, I'm tired of feeling like crap, and I just want to relax now, and I don't take pharmaceuticals for that purpose. So I was like, what am I going to do? Well, I decided to smoke, and it didn't hurt me. It didn't make it worse. Then the other time I am feeling like crap and I decide to smoke, and it makes me 10 times worse. Like I can't breathe. My head is completely compacted. It was just horrible. So as far as smoking goes, I just kind of say, your body, how it reacts. My body freaks out when the actual cold weather hits in January, which is right now. And this is exactly what happens. So I know I can't smoke because my nasal passages are already so off, and they're not working as well as they should. So I don't want to give them anything else to deal with. So it's up to, to the individual to decide if that's something that works for them or not. because it can offer some relief and also help your situation, but it also, on the other hand, it can make it a lot worse than you would hope it to be, and then you're dying and you just want to rip your face, your nose off your face. So, well, I hope this is helpful, and if you've got any questions about anything I talked about, let me know. But you could find all of these things on the internet, on Amazon in particular. I definitely recommend checking these things out and seeing if any of this works for you, and let me know. I'd like to know if other people find relief through these kinds of treatments and remedies. So, okay, thanks for hanging out with me while I'm sick. Bye. Mwah.